Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Shumaila Kashif, the host of this online webinar, Unlocking a Passport to Exciting Journey of Higher Education by MSMS PhD program at 𝗪𝗘𝗫𝗀𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 joined by worthy faculty members today. First, I would like to introduce Head of Faculty of Management Sciences, Karachi, Dr. 𝗪𝗓𝗓 Kashif. Then MSMS PhD Coordinator and Assistant Professor, Faculty of Management Sciences, 𝗪𝗵𝗗 Karachi, Dr. 𝗪𝗚 Qazi. Dr. Imran Omer, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Management Sciences, 𝗪𝗓𝗃 Karachi, and Mr. Ramesh Kumar, who's Operation Manager, EFU Life Assurance, and he's also MSMS batch of 2018 to 2020. He's our alumnus. So welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us on this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you, Shumaila.
Okay, let's begin.
Thank you so very much.
Let's begin with the brief introduction of our guest. So I would request you to please briefly tell us about your educational background and experiences. And we shall begin with Dr. 𝗪𝗓𝗃 Kashif. Sir, please.
Okay. Thank you, Shumaila, for letting me again introduce to everyone. Well, all of you know me. My academic career started in 2005 from Balochistan University, and I did my MBA and undergraduate from Balochistan. Then I went to UK for higher education, where I completed MS in Financial Economics, and afterward I did my PhD in Finance from Adam Smith Business School. Thereafter, I joined SZABIST in 2015, I guess, and afterward I'm serving SZABIST, and actually SZABIST is providing the opportunity to work over here and exploring the beautiful minds and beautiful meeting with beautiful people and some worthy researcher over here. So that's my entire career.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you. Now, Dr. 𝗪𝗚 Qazi, please.
Okay, as you all know my name, Dr. 𝗪𝗚 Qazi. I am heading the program of MS and PhD, and since last few months, and I'm working at SZABIST from last 6 years. And other than this, total in academia, I have spent my 9 years and have done my PhD in 2019, and in general management and specifically in the qualitative studies. And currently, I'm also seeing the research center. I'm heading that as well, and organizing so many activities under the leadership of Dr. 𝗪𝗓𝗃 Kashif, our Vice President, Dr. 𝗪𝗘𝗏𝗃, and our President. And I feel lucky that I'm the alumni of SZABIST as well, and growing here.
Great. Okay, Dr. Imran Omer, please.
Thank you very much, Shumaila, and thank you, SZABIST, for making me the part of this webinar. So this is Imran Omer. I have 3 master's qualification, and I have 2 gold medals in those master's qualification. Plus, I have 8 years of corporate experience. I've worked with Standard Chartered and Habib Bank, and I've recently, means in the year 2019, I have completed my SZABIST PhD from SZABIST, and I'm the alumni of SZABIST. And currently, I'm working in SZABIST and teaching finance courses and working as assistant professor at SZABIST. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now, last but not the least, Mr. Ramesh Kumar, please.
Assalamualaikum, Shumaila. First of all, thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity on this platform. Well, my name is Ramesh Kumar, and I did my BBA and MBA from the SZABIST Karachi campus, I think 8 to 10 years back. And after that, I got a job at the EFU Life Assurance as a management training officer, and from where my career started. And after that, the promotions goes on, and right now I am manager operations, and I'm looking after a team of 8 to 10 people under my supervision. Apart from this, I also taught at different universities as a visiting faculty to the BD and MBA student. Additionally, I also work for the Society of the Pakistan English Language Teachers. And apart from this, most importantly, I have been participant in the TCF Forever program for a couple of the times. where I trained and provided the guidance to our upcoming generation of the 𝗔𝗊𝗪.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's begin our discussion. I think the first question that we should ask should be from Dr. Sara, and let's discuss the basic structure of the MSMS program. So Dr. Sara, if you could tell us about the eligibility criteria of this program, the structure of this program, the credit hours, courses, and other things, please.
Okay, yes, you have sent me these 7 things that I have to describe. The first of all, the eligibility for the MS program is that 16 years of education in the relevant field from the 𝗪𝗔𝗊𝗪 recognized university with the 55% and or 2.5 CGPA. At least this is the requirement. And as per the 𝗪𝗔𝗊𝗪 guidelines, the student must have the GATE journal test with the 50% result. And currently, due to this pandemic and the new normal, we are allowing the students to get admission without the GATE journal test, but we are giving them actually 6 months of time to clear this GATE journal so they can avail this admission. As far as the second thing is the structure, so MS degree has 2 streams, 2 different streams. The first stream is course through the coursework, and the other stream is through the research based. This pandemic, okay, research based. So currently this is a degree with 30 credit hours. We are offering 10 different courses with 3 credit hours each. In the coursework stream, the students need to do 10 courses, 6 compulsory courses, and the 4 elective courses for availing the degree. And in the research-based degree, we 6 compulsory courses, 2 electives, and 2 independent research studies or thesis. So this is the 2 different structures that we are offering in the MS, and with the specialization of marketing, human resource management, finance, and currently we have added business analytics in it. Okay. Class timings, we are offering evening classes. We are not offering the weekend classes. Evening classes, normally we have 6:30 to 9:30 slot, but due to this online sessions and hybrid sessions, we have classes from 7:15 to 9:45. This is the time slot. And the minimum time limit to complete this MS is 1.5 years. And the maximum time limit to complete this is 4 years. 4 years. And the last thing, can a student take courses in summers that you have written? The students in the MS program, we are not offering courses in the summers, but students can take with the MBA 1 or 2 courses, not more than that. This is the structure of MS.
Okay, thank you very much. That was...
Okay, should I continue with the PhD?
No. Just okay. We actually have some few questions that are coming. So there's this question from Miss Wajiha. So she's asking a question: can we apply without GATE subject
for PhD?
For MSMS.
MS, we required the GATE journal. For PhD, we required GATE subject. So without the GATE journal in MS, you can apply. That I mentioned that we are giving the 6 months time for the students due to the pandemic. NTS has actually postponed their test. But in PhD, still we are not taking any of the application without GATE subject.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, one more question is that there are 2 streams of MSMS. So one stream is with IRS and the other is with thesis. So students often get confused that what is the difference between IRS and thesis. So if you could tell the students the difference between both, so they can, choose whenever they enroll in this program and make up their mind accordingly.
Okay, the independent research study, that is IRS, is basically 3 credit hours equivalent to 1 course. And this is a small research study. It is the structure of thesis and the IRS is same. that students has to select the topic, they have to identify the problem and collect the data, analyze it. But the thesis is the more rigorous thing that they have to do the more rigorous literature review to identify the gap, and this is a 6 credit hours work. Thesis is a 6 credit hour and spread over the 2 semesters. Although the IRS is students can take 2 IRS in 1 semester, this is equivalent to 1 course. So it is a small thing, and thesis is a long process. There is a similar thing, but the depth of the study is different. The depth of the research work is different.
Okay, that was very detailed reply. Thank you. I think let's ask this question from existing students कि उन्होंने IRS से किया था या thesis से किया था. I being a student of MSMS, I took IRS instead of thesis. तो रमेश, आपने thesis लिए थे या IRS से किया था?
Of course, IRS, because MS program as Dr. Sara Wali just informed, gave me the option of taking the courses, or either we should go for the IRS. So main purpose was that I actually want to do the PhD, but unfortunately at that time जो है वो HSC की जो policy थी, you can't go for the PhD if you don't have 18 years of education. तो फिर कंसिडरिंग कि MSM जो लेना चाहिए था, और डेफिनेटली अगर PhD का जो वो आगे चल के मूड था, तो डेफिनेटली IRS रिसर्च जो थीसिस जो है वो was the best option. And I did both IRS as major HR, and luckily my both papers got approved for the publish, and one is almost approved and to be published in the next month, and other is going to be published after a couple of the months. So definitely this gave me an enormous experience of the research. So I definitely would rather recommend others to go for the IRS research instead of taking 2 months.
Okay, so Dr. Sara, आप क्या कहती हैं कि किस तरह के students should go for thesis? Because since we have an option, so you know, which type of student should prefer going for thesis instead of IRS?
Who have patience?
Okay.
Who have patience to actually listen the comments, can apply these comments, and then actually this is just like the PhD degree, it is the patience, you know, the patience level should be high. It is you demotivate, and sometimes you are, the people are even reluctant with the topics, reluctant with your methodology, but you have to sit and think and do your work, own your work, and if you want to grow in this, because the thesis is thesis is compulsory if you want to do the PhD. It's compulsory.
So
if you are not doing the PhD and you are just doing with the IRS, and then you are planning in the future, if you are planning for the PhD, then we have the deficiency courses as well as the prereq thesis. But still, thesis is something which gives you opportunity to dig out and to go in for the in-depth analysis, for the in-depth data collection, and you can analyze the particular industry in that sense.
Sara, I would like to request something. Sara, if it's possible, just summarize in a couple of lines in just one statement, what is the basic advantage or disadvantage if a student goes for an IRS MS or with a thesis in IRS? Means if you'll summarize, what will be the outcome? What's the basic difference?
Imran, as such, there is no benefit or disadvantage, you can say. IRS or thesis, both are the similar things in the sense that research work hai, but this is the IRS has a concise research work. Thesis is the more in-depth research work first, and if you want to pursue your PhD immediately after your MS, so it's better to have go with the thesis.
Okay, so it means if we conclude, to those students who want to pursue PhD, for them it's preferable to go to do MS with the thesis or the designation rather than with the IRS.
Yes, better.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for a great explanation. So we should now move to PhD program. Yes.
Dr. Sara, I just want to just clear one point regarding this thesis. As far as my limited information, के thesis जो है वो it takes I think 1 year, but as compared to the IRS, you can do both IRS in 1 semester. That means 6 months period में आप दोनों IRS जो कर सकते हैं. But as far as the thesis are concerned, it takes 1 year. Is it
exactly?
So?
Exactly.
Let me respond to this thesis and IRS component because I've been looking at this program for a very long time, and when I joined this program and started looking at this program, so I got myself acquainted with this IRS thing. The IRS thing is something that you start a very small project. It's just like a small paper you write, and usually you take let's say 2 IRS in your degree program, let's say in MS. So you have a liberty to explore 2 different areas. Okay, one IRS you can take in one area, let's say in finance, you can work let's say on corporate finance, and one IRS you can take on asset pricing. Similarly, in other field like HR, management, marketing. So you have an option to let's say research different topic to develop the flavor, to develop your skill set for further research. Okay, but when it comes to the thesis, because if you have focus that you will go and pursue your PhD, then as Sarah said, thesis is the right option for the student, because thesis will allow you to start a project which you're not sure or you're not familiar, and you want to have an idea whether I should pursue a project that in my PhD that is for that actually spread over 5 years or 6 years of research. So you initially want to have an idea, or that if I conduct a certain study on a smaller scale, then probably you will have a better idea to develop a very nice proposal for next 5 years. So that's why we have given an option that student who wants to, let's say, discontinue their research studies up to MS level, they can go with the IRS structure. But if someone is thinking to pursue PhD, then it is highly recommended to go for the research thesis.
Thank you so much for a great explanation, Dr. Kashif. I'm sure
Another thing,
after listening, yes.
sorry, a question came that from Aisha Iqbal. I can read over here. After IRS, students can eligible for PhD. Yes, whether you complete your MS with IRS or thesis, you are eligible for PhD. But if you complete your MS with coursework, then you before starting your PhD coursework, you have to do a prereq thesis, because in order to enter into the PhD program, the prereq thesis is mandatory. Okay? Because unless until we do not admit students, many other universities, they directly admit students directly into PhD program, whether you have done any research at MS level or MBA level. But at SZABIST, we have made sure that any student who enrolled in PhD program must have some sort of flavor or let's say taste of research. That's why we make sure that any student coming to the PhD program must have done some sort of research, whether through IRS or through thesis. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for a great explanation. I'm sure after listening your advice, most students will now opt for thesis, particularly if they are serious towards higher degree PhD. Thank you so much. Okay, so we should now move towards the other program about the PhD program. So Dr. Sara, again, will ask you to please explain the eligibility criteria of the PhD program, the structure of the program, the total credit hours, and compulsory elective courses, all these structure.
Okay, Shumaila, we are offering PhD, which is 48 credit hours. Total, it is having 48 credit hours, 18 credit hours for the coursework, and the 30 credit hours for the dissertation. Okay, in 18 for the, as for eligibility is concerned, so we demand 3 CGPA, 3.0 CGPA and 17.5 years of education in the relevant field from the 𝗪𝗔𝗔 recognized university. MPhil degree, it can be MBA degree, it can be MS degree, but must be equivalent to MPhil and MS. And 3.3 CGPA with the GATE subject test, and GATE subject test score is 60. Okay, so these are the PhD requirements. After that, even we take interviews in the panel. We have the panel 3 to 4 members. Our panel, the people are sitting, doctors, PhD doctors. They will take the interviews, and then after this rigorous process, we select the PhDs. And out of 55, 60, we select just 3 to 4 PhDs candidates. Structure 18 credit hours is depend on the coursework. 5 courses, 1 IRS, and then after the 18 credit hours, students have to give the comprehensive exam, and students need to complete these 18 credit hours and the comprehensive exam within 2 years of its admission, and then dissertations starts. The minimum limit of doing PhD is 3 years, and the maximum is 7 years. So 3 to 7 years are given to you for completing your PhD, but 2 years is mandatory for completing your coursework and your comprehensive exam. So in these 5 different courses, 3 are the core courses, and the 2 are the electives, and 1 is. Okay. Your mic is mute, Shumaila.
Okay. So I think the class timings are the same for the MSMS
Class timings
program.
are the same, but the one thing I want to mention that PhD students are not allowed to take any course in summers. So we have fall and spring semester for the PhD students.
Okay. So, but still, is there a limit to take minimum or maximum course load for each
No,
semester?
one is the minimum limit, that is 3 credit hours, and the maximum limit can be 4. 4 courses means 12 credit hours.
Okay. So a student can take 12 credit hours in one semester maximum.
Yes. Yes.
And 3 minimum.
3 minimum.
Okay, that's great. Dr. Kashif sir will come to you because we would like to know the role of 𝗪𝗔𝗔 regulation in these 2 programs, and at what guidelines they are followed at SZABIST.
Okay. At SZABIST, but I've learned one thing, that we need to be very much truthful when we say something. So as far as 𝗪𝗔𝗔 role is concerned, it's not as encouraging as I would say. But again, we are in Pakistan, and 𝗪𝗔𝗔 is the regulatory body. So we have to follow certain rules and regulations. But when it comes to the PhD program, we are in fully compliance with the 𝗪𝗔𝗔 rules and regulation, because we have to make sure the future of the student as well. The very first thing you get in the PhD program, that mashallah, we have more than 20 PhDs in different areas of expertise, starting from finance, HR, marketing. So you get these PhD, most of these PhDs in the departments are 𝗪𝗔𝗔 approved supervisor. So the first thing the student get over here is the 𝗪𝗔𝗔 approved supervisor and internal supervisor, where you get one-to-one supervision in throughout your PhD journey. This is the one benefit, or we are in compliance with 𝗪𝗔𝗔 in respect to the supervision. Then the second thing that Sarah explained, that all students are bound to complete their coursework within the first 2 years of their start of their PhD, and they have, after completing 2 years, completing minimum 18 credit hour, they have to appear in the comprehensive exam, and there are maximum 2 attempts of comprehensive exam. So this is as per the 𝗪𝗔𝗔 framework. So if any student got flunk in 2 attempts, then we say goodbye, because that student cannot proceed further into the research. Then you have to defend proposal. So initially a student registered for a 6 credit hour proposal, and then defend the proposal, and thereafter the research journey actually starts. And as Sarah already explained, that student has to complete a PhD degree within 7 years, and this is the right time period to complete a PhD degree all over the world. 7-year maximum is a lot of time period to complete, or is a big time period to complete a PhD degree. Then there is another compliance that we make sure after completing the 27 credit hour of research. We have a doctor committee, and we have approved, and because all the rules apart from the 𝗪𝗔𝗔 regulation, we make sure we have made certain rules for the students at the university levels. We have bylaws as well for these doctor committee. So we stop student at 7 credit hours, and we ask that student must publish before completing 30 credit hours a research paper in 𝗪𝗔𝗔 X or Y journal. So these are the basic rules. Apart from that, we strictly, one thing is very important, that there is zero tolerance on plagiarism, because whatever we do with integrity, honesty, and we make sure that students come with the original ideas, with the original work, so we do not compromise on plagiarism. And then also one of the another important thing as per HSC regulation is the ethical review committee. So you have to get you have to get approved your thesis ethically from the ethical review committee before getting it to, let's say, defend in different forum. So there's an ethical review committee, there's a doctoral committee, and all the set of rules and regulations set by HSC are well protected and well observed by these forums. Thank you.
Okay, Shumaila, one thing I want to add, we have advisory committee as well for the students who are going to pursue their proposal and then defending the proposal. So for reviewing their topic and for reviewing their work, we have the advisory committee of 2 to 3 different PhDs for a single student.
I think that's a great news for the students. Okay, now we shall move on to some of the questions because we have a lot of queries coming on the Facebook page. So this is query from Mr. Fahad Zubairi. What is the maximum duration for PhD? So I think this is answered by Dr. Kashif already, that's 7 years. Okay, Asra Sheikh is asking, can a student after completing 4 years bachelor's degree apply directly in PhD program? Is it possible,
Okay.
Dr. Sara?
Okay. Let me, Sarah, with your permission,
Sure, sir.
I need to answer this.
Yes, sir, please.
There is a discussion and a discussion took place among the top management, including Dr. 𝗪𝗵𝗚-𝗧𝗧, Vice President, then Dr. 𝗪𝗘𝗕𝗓𝗓, all the deans and the top management. We have our own thinking because we think that students coming after the 4-year bachelor degree, they are not well equipped to, let's say, pursue a PhD degree. Okay, so in order to pursue a PhD degree, you need to acquire relevant education or relevant knowledge. Okay? If, let's say, yes, HSC allows students to get enroll in PhD program after 4 years of bachelor degree, but in our thinking, it would be injustice to the student. Let's say a student will spend, after completing 4 years, then a student will directly get enrolled into the PhD program. Then, in order to let's say acquire the prerequisite of research, he needs to spend 3-4 years, and then after acquiring the prerequisite to start basic research, so it's a period of around 7-8 years in a person's life. So why we allow student, and also when it comes to decision making, any undergraduate student, I'm not disrespecting any undergraduate student, but it's not the age to decide whether to pursue PhD. PhD is a long-term commitment. So if a student, let's say, in the exuberance of youth, just commit himself in a degree program which requires a lot of effort. So we have decided that we will not allow any student coming from the bachelor to enroll in PhD program. In order to register into the PhD program, the person needs to get MS degree at least, get a flavor of research, get more knowledge, and then start a PhD degree, because it's a long-term commitment and a decision and commitment is required. So we cannot allow young minds to just, let's say, waste their life and after 8 or 9 years think, okay, this is a bad decision they have taken in their life. So that's why we don't allow any student after bachelor.
Sir, I would like to ask something over here with the discussion that you have started. Let's assume a person or a student has done bachelor's or a 4 years bachelor's degree, and then he pursue his master's degree. Means, for example, he do MBA. Then whether we allow them to have admission in PhD after doing MBA 4 years bachelor's, then an MBA, then he or she can take admission in PhD. Will we allow? Do we allow such students to take admission in SZABIST?
Sarah, could you please answer this, because I missed some of the part because of the noise. Sorry.
You are asking for the MBA students, right, Imran?
Yeah, I'm asking a student has done 4 years bachelor's, and then he or she has completed the MBA from a university, and then he wants to have a PhD qualification.
If the student has a 17.5 years education, he or she can be eligible for this program. If he has not done the research with the thesis work, so we offer the deficiency prereq thesis to them, so they can have the flavor of this research work, and then he can continue with the PhD coursework and the other things, other coursework and dissertations.
Okay, so it means it is very similar to that MS criteria. That a person has done a thesis in MBA or not. If he or she has not done thesis, then she'll do a prereq before the PhD. Or if the person has done research in the MBA program, so then he or she can get a direct admission in the PhD program.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Imran is sitting like the representative of the students, right?
Yeah,
We're asking
exactly.
very
That's right.
Yeah, I am an alumni, so it's my responsibility to ask on behalf of students as well.
Okay, so I think यहाँ पर एक और confusion ये होती है that most of the students are also asking what is the difference between MBA and MS, because both are master's degree. तो अगर हम मतलब should we go for MBA or should we go for MSMS? So in which conditions should students go for MBA or for MSMS?
Okay, should I answer?
Please, but anyone can answer.
Okay, students actually, as a student aspires who wants to be business graduate, they have two options: the MS option and the MBA option. MBA will have the webinar tomorrow, inshallah, and they will tell you what is the key points of MBA. But the key difference is that the MS is the research-oriented degree. The courses which we are offering, the research is embedded within the coursework. The students are basically MS program is the research-oriented thing, and we facilitate the students, the scholars especially, to uncover the historical and the latest global researches and the global and the regional research work, body of knowledge, you can say. So they can create the knowledge. They can search for the alternative solutions to the current business problems, to provide solutions to the industry and to the society as well. So specifically in the field of finance, marketing, HR, and now business analytics. So our courses, even in our courses, we have the research flavor in every course. The teachers, faculty is PhD. This is the one difference. MBA is taught by the most of the industry people, and the MS is taught by the PhD faculty first. Secondly, research papers are included in the course outlines, in the coursework, and we discuss the practical research work with them. So this is the main difference, that and currently in the contemporary world, the most demanded degree is the research degree, right? Because in everything, either it is marketing, either it is HR, we need the research to enhance, for the innovations, for the increasing the efficiencies, we need the research-based things. Of course, I'm promoting my degree.
Okay, again, Sarah, I want to ask something related to this.
Yes, please, Imran.
What if somebody has done 4 years of bachelor's degree? So
yes.
Is he or she is allowed?
For the MS, they are allowed, because 16 years of education is allowed for the MS. For MS, they are allowed. So for the MS, I'm encouraging the BBA, the BS entrepreneurs, and the BA students to please have this MS degree, because it is a research-based degree, and research is required from each and every organization currently.
Okay, Ms. Paras is asking, are there any scholarships available for research students?
Dr. Kashif will say.
Okay, so you have diverted a very difficult question to me.
Yeah, exactly.
At the moment it's SZABIST, and this is one of our aspirations, that we should give a scholarship to our research student as well, and SZABIST is moving forward in this direction. But still, there's a long journey to cover. But at this point of time, there are no scholarship available for research student, both at MS and PhD level. But there are incentives available because for PhD student, if they're doing well in their research work, and also they have done well in their coursework, then we allow those students to teach at undergraduate level. We provide opportunities to our students, and those teachings are paid. So a student, they can become work as a lecturer. They can take very basic courses at undergraduate level, and we time to time we give opportunity to our student. This way, it's sort of we allow our student to or deserving student, okay, to actually let's say lessen their burden, financial burden, and if they're pursuing a PhD. PhD is not a very, let's say, cheap degree. It's a very expensive. Also, good student, when they publish in good journals, then we have a very good structure incentive of research honorarium. So if you are publishing in a reputable journal, then we allow honorarium again. And so students are also eligible to get these benefits. Apart from these these two benefits, at the moment we are not offering any scholarship.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So is it possible that a student who's studying at SZABIST can apply for 𝗪𝗔𝗍 scholarship?
Oh, the HSC scholarship are open for everyone, any student. Recently, we have received a letter from HSC and a committee made by Dr. 𝗪𝗘𝗡𝗧, where we are in process of nominating few students for the scholarship. And yes, HSC scholarship are open for all students all over the Pakistan, same as SZABIST.
Okay, great. So the students who are really looking for scholarship, they can always go for 𝗪𝗔𝗍 scholarships.
And
Okay,
any
we
type
have.
of endorsement letter they required to support their scholarship application, we are here.
Okay. So Mr. Fahad Zubairi is asking, can you tell us about business analytics, this new course? Dr.
Okay,
Sara. Sir, please.
Sarah, could you please just explain?
I think Dr. Kashif can explain. He wants to explain. And please add Dr. Imran in the webinar.
As you know, business analytics is a growing field, and we felt that it is the time of the need that we should introduce a new specialization. We offer a specialization in HR, marketing, and some other fields. So we have designed a complete new specialization in business analytics. This is a need of the time. In Islamabad campus, we offer a complete program in MS in business analytics. But at Karachi campus, we thought we instead of starting a complete MS program in business analytics, so we have introduced I think around quite a few courses, around 20 odd courses in different field of HR marketing with reference to the business analytics, and these are courses are included.
HR analytics, yes, HR analytics, fintech, and marketing analytics, and the programming is mandatory for the students who want to pursue business analytics. So programming course is added just like the Python, MATLAB, any of the languages students can learn from this thing, because this is the actually it is need of time. The industries, they are demanding now the people who are expert in these analytics and these programming languages.
Okay. So we have one more question from Ms. Faiza Siddiqui, and she's asking, is there any restriction by HSE that faculty are not allowed to take admission in same university where they are working?
No, it is not. There is no
Okay.
restriction. Even we are promoting these things, and currently we have so many faculties which are actually taking the advantage of this thing, and so many. Even Shumaila, you are also enrolled in PhD program.
Exactly.
Imran has
That's
done.
right.
Imran has done his PhD from SZABIST. I have done my PhD from SZABIST. At that time, we were just normal faculty.
In fact, we get concession
Okay,
as well in fees as a faculty if you are doing a PhD from SZABIST.
Okay, to tell you about the
That's right.
structure, we have got complete career progression policy at SZABIST, where we allow our faculty member who are working at the SZABIST to enhance their qualification. And SZABIST fully support our internal faculty member, whether they are a staff member or they are faculty member. If they want to enhance their qualification, they can apply and they can take admission in any program. And SZABIST also provide financial support to those employees in Islam.
Okay, so Ms. Faiza is again asking this question, that we have heard that HSC allow admission in PhD on the basis of 4 years degree. So is SZABIST taking admission on the basis of 4 years bachelor's degree?
I think we have talked
Yes.
a while ago, and I think we have, everyone is pretty much clear. So we do not.
We have discussed these things.
We do not allow.
Exactly. Yes, we have.
Ask something from
Okay.
Dr. Imran because he is asking so many questions from us.
Yes. So
No,
okay, let's move to Dr. Imran now.
I was asking a question, but unfortunately I got disconnected. This is the part and parcel in Pakistan.
But I replied.
But I missed that reply. I'll see the recording.
So you can go back and see the live session recording
Yeah,
of the
and
session.
I'll see the recording, and because I need the answer of the
Okay.
question.
Okay, but I'll follow what Dr. Sara has just said. So, Dr. Imran, our next question is directed towards you. So, since you have also been a student of MSMS and PhD at 𝗬𝗪𝒻, so what was your biggest challenge here during your study
The
and
biggest
pursuing the
challenge
degree?
when we started at that time, around 7 to 8 years ago, the program was not that much structured. We were suffering from the resources point of view. But once the Dr. Kashif joined SZABIST, then everything got streamlined. Now we have a very structured program, and now we have all the resources. Especially in Pakistan, the biggest issue is the availability of data. So we have subscription of Thomson Reuters. From Thomson Reuters, you can download any financial data or any data that you need to do your research, because in Pakistan it's easy to start a research, but the biggest hurdle is when you move to the third chapter, or when you move to the data collection wala part, then you struggle, because at that time you feel that the data is not available in Pakistan, or जो data available है वो mismatch होता है, या वो आप अगर स्टेट बैंक की वेबसाइट पे देखें तो इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट, अगर आप वर्ल्ड बैंक की वेबसाइट पे देखें तो वो सारा डाटा इज वेरी डिफरेंट. तो इसका मतलब है फॉर अ स्टूडेंट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डू द रिसर्च इन पाकिस्तान. तो क्योंकि फॉर्चुनेटली ज़ाबिस्ट ने जो है वो थॉमसन रीटर्स का एक्सेस बाय किया है, एंड एवरी ईयर वी आर पेइंग millions of rupees for that subscription, and that amount or that subscription is helping our students to do research. And I have noticed as a student, once we bought that data access, तो उसके बाद हमारा यहाँ research का process was smooth, but और वो further smooth हो गया, and now it's very easy for students, especially the data collection वाला part के for them it's easy to collect the data. They just need to go to the library and then they can easily download that data और उसको फिर Excel में copy करें and whatever analysis they want to do. प्लस जब हम आए थे उस टाइम पे एज अ फाइनेंस स्टूडेंट वी वर स्ट्रगलिंग, बिकॉज इन पाकिस्तान अगर आप मेजॉरिटी ऑफ फैकल्टी को देखें तो इन मेजॉरिटी ऑफ फैकल्टी हु आर सुपरवाइजिंग फाइनेंस स्टूडेंट्स, दे हैव अ पीएचडी इन इकोनॉमिक्स रादर देन कोर फाइनेंस. लेकिन वंस डॉक्टर काशिफ जॉइंड after completing his PhD and moving from other university to our university, fortunately, so that was the turning point, especially for my PhD, because I was very worried about my supervisor, because जब डॉक्टर काशिफ ने ज्वाइन किया था उस कुछ अर्सा पहले ही, मतलब आई कंप्लीटेड माय कोर्स वर्क एंड आई वाज लुकिंग फॉर अ सुपरवाइजर, स्पेशली इन को फाइनेंस एरिया, बिकॉज आई वाज getting the supervisors in economic area or those who can supervise finance studies, but they were not that much skilled to supervise a proper finance or a core finance study. Fortunately, when Dr. Kashif joined ज़ाबिस्ट, तो उसके बाद I feel more comfortable, because the Dr. Kashif area, that area is related to my area, because I have also done my PhD in asset pricing, or Sarka area भी is on asset pricing. So for me it was comfortable, and now we have more finance faculty जिनका core area finance का है. So this is, I feel that this is the competitive edge that we have over other universities. अगर आप other universities को try to compare, so in other universities they have faculty, but they have very limited faculty, or they don't have faculty related to core finance area. But over here we have Dr. Palwasha, myself, Dr. Kashif, असरा जो है हमारी फैकल्टी हैं, और बहुत सारी फैकल्टी मेंबर्स हैं दोज हु आर डूइंग पीएचडी इन को फाइनेंस. कुछ फैकल्टी का ऑलमोस्ट दे हैव डन देयर पीएचडी, उनका शायद फाइनल डिसर्टेशन रहता है या सिर्फ उनका फाइनल प्रेजेंटेशन रहती है. तो इन द नेक्स्ट 6 months और इन नेक्स्ट 12 months विल हैव 3 to 4 more फाइनेंस फैकल्टी जिनका कोर एरिया फाइनेंस में होगा. तो दिस इज द थिंग दैट आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, जो बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा चेंज है, एंड दिस आई फील दैट दिस इज अवर प्लस पॉइंट इफ यू कंपेयर दिस विद अदर यूनिवर्सिटीज. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much.
Shumaila, here I just want to raise a question from the Dr. Imran and Dr. Sara. I just want to know how much the time it took you guys to complete your PhD. Because nowadays there's a rumor in the market that PhD takes, I think, 8 to 10 years. Maybe the universities get struck you during the dissertation या और कुछ मसाइल हैं जिसकी वजह से जो है वो टाइम ज़्यादा लग रहा है, and most of the students are not willing to go for the PhD. So in how many years you guys just completed your PhD and how it went?
Okay, Ramesh, the masail जो है, the masail is like that when you don't have the proper structure, when you don't have the person who can communicate what are the requirements and when you have to complete what things. If everything is clear now, currently In this year, inshallah, the 6 to 7 PhDs will be getting degree from SZABIST. Inshallah, in the management sciences only. In the management sciences only. And they have completed their degrees within 5 years, within 4 years, within 6 years. As far as you are asking from me, I have completed my work in 4 years. But this was the publication time that I was not actually properly communicated, and I didn't understand this thing, and I waited for publication for good 2 years, and then in within 6 years I have completed my work. I got my degree within 6 years. Same goes with, I think, Imran. So current status is that the people are completing their work, their degrees within 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. It's up to you that in how much time you are going to complete your coursework, your research work. Then for publication, अगर आप लास्ट में आके in the 7th year you are going to give your research public paper for the publication, then it's up to you. It's actually based on the students. It's not from the university. We are encouraging students to complete their work as soon as possible. As soon as possible, please complete your dissertation and get your degree. So we actually need the intellectual people in our faculty as well, and in the market as well. It is a demand from the industries as well. They need consultants from the different for the different industries.
I would like to add something in this. Ramesh, जैसे you have asked how much time I have taken to complete my PhD, so I must say कि जैसे मैंने भी कहा था, when we started as a PhD student, तो in SZABIST means around 6 to 7 years ago, तो at that time the PhD program was not that much structured जिस तरह से आज हम उसे देखते हैं. और plus because I was trying to do my PhD in finance, so हमारे पास at that time we don't have any core finance PhD का faculty member who can supervise my dissertation. So I took a long time to complete my coursework. उसका दो reasons थी. एक, at that time the passing marks was very high. We need to score around 80 marks. तो और plus as a part-time student, it's very difficult कि आप straight 6 या 7 courses ले लें. And at that time I was working with a bank, तो वो बड़ा difficult था कि बैंक के साथ आप अपना बैंक का करें 9 to 9 की job, and then you need to complete your coursework. So it took me around 3 years or around 3.5 years to complete 3 years to complete my coursework. I wasted around 6 months just to look for a supervisor. Then Dr. Kashif fortunately joined SZABIST, and then I registered myself as a student under Dr. Kashif's supervision. उसके बाद everything was very smooth. It took me hardly 2.5 years to complete my dissertation. Normally 3 साल लगते हैं, लेकिन fortunately I was lucky enough कि मैंने वो 2 या 2.5 साल में अपना dissertation complete किया. लेकिन मेरा coursework में क्योंकि I wasted a lot of time, so it took me around 5.5 years. Yeah, you can say that I also took 6 years to complete my PhD degree. लेकिन इसमें हमें एक चीज़ we need to remember over here कि in Pakistan the most of the students are part-time students. Nobody do PhD as a full-time student. लेकिन अगर आप इसको compare करें with the Western world, या अगर आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया, US, UK जाते हैं, जैसे सर जो है वो UK से PhD करके आए, तो if you can ask Dr. Kashif, तो वो यहाँ से अपनी जॉब से लीव लेके गए थे. 3 साल 4 साल उन्होंने स्पेंड किया, the complete 3 years for PhD. लेकिन यहाँ पे in Pakistan what we need to do our jobs as well, plus a part time में आपको PhD, तो part time में PhD करना is very difficult task, क्योंकि आपके पास और बहुत सारी responsibilities होती हैं. तो my understanding is that it's easy to say that you can complete PhD in 3.5 years, but practically in Pakistan, if you are a part-time student, to keep in your mind that it will take you at least 4 to 5 years, yeah, minimum 5 years to complete your PhD with the coursework and dissertation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Imran. You have really given us a realistic view of the problems and challenges that the students can face here during their PhD. So I think let's come to Ramesh now. Okay, Ramesh. So I would like to ask you, when, because you said that you took a gap of 8 years after your MBA, right? Or after your BBA?
MBA.
Okay, but so when you thought of pursuing your degree?
It was in the year 2015. I initially thought that I should go for the PhDMS, but due to some family reasons, I couldn't make it. And the reasons why I went for the MSMS, because number one, I just informed that I used to teach at the different university as a visiting faculty. So definitely visiting faculty के लिए you need to have a much updated information, जो कि आजकल जो वो currently जो वो different books, new editions के साथ आ रहे हैं, आपकी research, आपका सारी चीज़ें up to date जो होनी चाहिए. And apart from this, I still remember the HSC ने भी जो start किया था कि you need to have at least MSMS degree to teach somewhere for the lectures. So that's the main reason when I applied for the MSMS program. Apart from this, my family background is more on the doctorship, so many of the people are the doctors, 8 to 10 people. So I always wanted to put my name as a doctor after doing the PhD, because I am much familiar all kind of the things, and I also want to pursue for the research. And उसके बाद जो MSMS करने का, I think that was the right time to go for it, to get my interest up. I did a lot of the research work, and I completed my IELTS as well. And due to the COVID situation, I didn't continue with my teaching work, but probably once the situation will be better, then I will continue my teaching at the different institutes.
Okay. So how was your experience during the MSMS program, during your study? Because you were working also, you were studying, and you had other life commitment as well. And also, was it challenging to restart after a long gap?
Yes, of course, that was a very difficult time for me to make up all these things, doing the job and then the family with the one kid, and then go for this study. So, but again, it was overall a challenging, but though it was interesting too. क्योंकि जो है वो ज़ाबिस्ट is one of the most learning and growing opportunity institute in the Karachi. So ज़ाबिस्ट के साथ जो I think everyone can do this easily. So it's a very amazing environment, especially the lectures, the projects, the assignment, everything was just amazing, and it really helped me a lot. And apart from this, though it was very tough, but again I would say I just completed in 2 years. So that was, I think that's a great achievement for me. Because I still remember that we have a group of 35 students in that batch of 2018. और उसमें से I think only half of the people just completed ML, और आधे जो है वो अभी नहीं है. But again, this is depending upon you how much you are serious towards your study. Coming up to the most happiest moments, when Dr. Kashif and the faculty of management team actually organized the first international conference of the SZABIST at the Regent Plaza, and I think that was in February 2020, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Sara, that was February 2020.
18 and 19 Jan 2020.
In 2020. So that was a very proud moment for me, and because there were the different international scholars and the local scholars were participated in that conference, and presenting before them, it was like a dream come true. So I think overall it was a tough, but again I got my milestone, so I'm happy about this.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's see if we have any more questions from the Facebook. Okay, so we have students praising Dr. Imran as the best finance teacher. Okay, Rita Kumar is asking what's the requirement for PhD admission. So I believe we have covered this question, and you can see the recording, so you will get to know about this question. So Imran, I think let's ask this last question from you, because since your area of knowledge is related to the number side, and which is intimidating for most students. But incidentally, we also have a lot of candidates who come from this background and who wants to pursue their higher education. So if you could tell us the potential of MSMS degree in finance and PhD degree in finance, what is the corporate relevance of this degree?
Your mic is mute, Imran.
Sorry जी, thank you very much, Shumaila. अच्छा, जैसे हमने अभी डिस्कस किया था, we have just discussed that in SZABIST now we have that edge कि we have more faculty members who have core area of finance, means those who have done their PhD in core finance. So this gives us the edge to those students who wants to pursue their MS or PhD in finance. तो हमारे पास जो faculty members हैं, they can help them out in doing analysis related to finance, because when we talk about finance, तो finance के research में, और the finance research is very different from a normal research, or you talk about a research in marketing or HR. Because in marketing and HR, the main area is the subject knowledge. But in finance, we need to have expertise in both the fields. We need to have that subject knowledge, plus we need to have the expertise in the analysis side as well. Means we need to understand how to run different softwares. We need to learn programming during this period of PhD or MS. तो ये वाला part is जो है वो आपका double efforts require होती हैं इसके लिए. जबकि अगर आप MS या PhD कर रहे हैं मार्केटिंग HR में, तो मे बी आपको शायद उस लेवल की एफर्ट रिक्वायर्ड है इन टर्म्स ऑफ एनालिसिस. वहाँ भी हार्ड वर्क इज रिक्वायर्ड, बट मे बी इन फाइनेंस
I think there's some connectivity issue.
Gee, I think there is a technical glitch with Dr. Imran Omer. चले, we got to know कि finance में भी data का issue होता है, वरना जो marketing और management वाले students होते हैं, they are usually thinking कि हमें तो collect करना पड़ता है, and finance data is already available. So it's good to know that we have problems on the both sides, challenges on every side of MSMS and PhD. So we are moving towards the end of our webinar. So I would like to ask for the last piece of advice that everyone would like to give to the aspirant students for MSMS and PhD admission. So, sir, starting from you, please.
Okay. Look, first of all, when you think that you want to do PhD, don't take this as a degree or a not common degree that you pursue in an undergraduate or a graduate level. This is not a degree, this is actually a training program. Actually, it will equip you with the skill set where you do your own indigenous research. Okay? Now, if I give you an example of recent pandemic, what happened? The entire world just stopped and everything closed. So everyone was looking at towards researcher, whether it's the field of finance, whether it's the field of economics, it's the medicine, because they were expecting to come up with the ideas, to come up with the knowledge, or to come up with the solution to actually solve this recent dilemma or this recent catastrophe we have seen throughout the world. So if you're thinking to join a PhD, make your head clear that it is not a degree to make money. Yes, you can make money on average more than other degree holders, but it is for the real knowledge and addition to the body of current body of knowledge and literature. So you are doing PhD to add knowledge, not to earn money or to acquire a better position. Dedication is required in PhD program. Commitment is required. And ultimately, the honesty that is the main. These are the main ingredients to pursue or to start a PhD. And PhD is even after completing PhD, it's not the end of a journey. It's the start of a journey. Once you complete your PhD, your journey starts, because then you expect more, and expectation also grows as you complete your PhD. So my advice is, if you are starting a PhD program, think before, because it requires a lot of commitment and dedication. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Sarah, your words, last words for the students.
Okay, yes, Shumaila, I want to add one thing, that there is a myth between the MS and the PhD candidates and the scholars, that a PhD and MS degree is a research-oriented degree and for the academia only. Those who want to pursue career, they have to pursue the MS and PhD, but it is not like that. Currently, our team is in contact with the different industries and even the government, because we are working with every stakeholder in the society. So they demand the PhDs for the consultancies, for different projects, for different trainings. So PhD is not for the academia only. MS degree is not for entering in the academia, that you want to pursue just teaching and you are doing MS. This is the different side, but MS in management sciences will make you able to go for the industry, any business, either it is FMCG, either it is retailing, textile, any of the industry. The opportunities are open for you if you are doing the PhD, if you are doing the MS.
Okay, Dr. Imran, would you like to offer any piece of advice in our last minute?
Sorry, Ji, again I got disconnected. I was saying something related to the PhD or the edge that we have. The final advice over here is, those who are trying to pursue their PhD, so the first thing that they need to understand is that everybody in the corporate world needs PhDs, because अगर आप corporate world की बात करें तो corporate world में the weakest point of a corporate world in Pakistan especially is the research area, because they don't have those experts who can do research for them. तो पाकिस्तान का जो कल्चर, if you talk about पाकिस्तान का कल्चर, तो पाकिस्तान में what we do, we just try to copy few things from the Western world and then the corporate world try to implement that. या for example हम इसी वजह से शायद ज़्यादा चीज़ें import करते हैं rather than doing the export. तो अगर those who are working in a corporate world, if they'll do PhD, so then they be able to help their organization in taking different initiatives by doing the different kinds of analysis or doing the researches for their organization. Plus they can contribute towards academia as well. और जो लोग academia से like us, तो अगर corporate organizations को we can give them advice and we can work for them along with our own organizations. So ये this academia और जो corporate world इसका जो है liaison is very important if we want to grow as a country or as an economy. अच्छा, for students, my advice will be those who are trying or those who are thinking to take admission in PhD, do remember it's a long journey. In fact, it's a very long journey and it's a very hard journey. So it's not like a BB or an MBA program के one day you decided that you want to do an MBA and you have taken admission in MBA और किसी तरीके से गिरते पड़ते जो है वो MBA हो गया. PhD में the most difficult part or the most important part is your dissertation. So I have seen so many students or so many individuals who have started their PhD because somebody told them that just start their PhD because you'll get an advantage or you'll get an opportunity to teach as a part-time faculty member or या शायद आपको जो है वो organization में growth की opportunities मिल जाएंगी or for any other reason. So in the long run, what happened that when they started their PhD and especially when they started their dissertation, they realized that this is not as easy as it sounds. So then they either drop this PhD वाला part और या फिर वो जो है उसको इतना continue करने की इतना prolong करते हैं कि वो फिर time बाद हो जाता है case. I've seen so many cases. So I'll request all those individuals who are planning to do PhD, if you have passion to do PhD, then take admission in PhD. And for this reason, हम बहुत selected लोगों को admission देते हैं. It means the process is very rigorous to take admission in SZABIST. अगर हमारे पास 20-30 applications आती हैं तो hardly 2 to 3 students get admission or induction in SZABIST. So it's not an easy task because we want only those students who have the passion to do PhD. सिर्फ शौक के लिए या किसी के कहने के लिए to have doctor with your name, you want to do PhD, so then I'm sorry to say शायद जब once you start your dissertation तो मैंने अपने जो पूरा dissertation का फेज है या जो मेरा पूरा PhD का जर्नी है, I'm sure डॉक्टर काशिफ ने भी ये फील किया होगा या फेस किया होगा, डॉक्टर सारा ने भी, कि जब आप dissertation स्टार्ट करते हैं आपकी लाइफ में बहुत दफा ऐसा फेज आता है at that time you decide कि यार I can't continue my dissertation और फिर आपको दोबारा अपने आप को जो है वो गैदर करना पड़ता है. यू नीड टू मोटिवेट योरसेल्फ. आपको सराउंडिंग में कोई ना कोई मोटिवेशन ढूंढनी पड़ती है. अ पर्सन और इंडिविजुअल हु कैन पुश यू कैन डू दिस PhD. So PhD is not an easy task. It's not like a normal degree. So do remember this. If you have a passion, then I'll suggest that take admission in PhD. Otherwise, MS is good enough. पाकिस्तान में हर कोई PhD नहीं कर सकता. We need to remember this. हमें लगता है कि हर किसी को PhD करनी चाहिए. तो my advice is कि it's not possible for everyone to do PhD. उसके लिए आपको different sets of skills चाहिए. Thank you so very much.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Imran, and a big thank you to all our valuable guests, Dr. Mohammed Kashif, Mr. Ramesh Kumar, Dr. Imran Omer, Dr. 𝗪𝗏𝗧 Qazi, for taking their time out for this live webinar today. I'm really hopeful that it addressed to various concerns that potential candidates might have in mind and can help them plan their future pursuits accordingly. Thank you to our viewers and Faculty of Management Sciences Marketing Department for the support. Stay tuned for our upcoming webinars of MBA, PB and other programs. Until next time, Allah Hafiz and good night. And please keep watching our other upcoming live webinars. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Of course.